So what are the do's and the don'ts of the talking stage? For those who don't know what the talking stage is, it's that period when you meet a guy, between when you meet a guy and when you become his girlfriend, that time. Between meeting someone and becoming their lover or their girlfriend. So what are their do's and don'ts of the talking stage? Most relationships don't go wrong. Most relationships start wrong. And I say this, if you have a chaotic relationship, your relationship is just messy. That is what progresses into marriage, because a wedding is just a ceremony, white dress and flowers. It doesn't, a ceremony, those wedding ceremonies or the traditional wedding things or rituals, they don't do anything to anybody's character, they're just a ceremony. So you really need to be careful how you start your relationship. So what are the do's and the don'ts of the talking stage? Number one, don't decide during the talking stage that this is gonna be your husband. Don't decide immediately you meet someone after a week, after 2 weeks, you've already decided this is supposed to be my husband, you're gonna marry me. What happens is you start overlooking important things that you do not want in a husband. You've already decided he's gonna be your husband before vetting him. You've already looked at superficial things, the car he drives, how he smells, how he talks, his voice on the phone, see how he does what, instead of taking time to see if the things he starts doing, he's gonna continue to do them. How consistent is he? Consistency is one of the most attractive things, especially during the talking stage. So one of the don't decide. What have you seen to decide this is supposed to be your husband? You're just deciding on the car he drives and how he looks. So in terms of how people look, the car he drives, people park their cars in the garage. So who will you be working with in the house if you don't know their character, right? And how people look. I say, beauty is just a cover. This is just a cover. There's more to Muthoni. There's more to someone than what you see. So don't decide immediately, this is gonna be my husband. Because what happens is you'll overlook very important things. You'll jump a stage that is very important for you to be able to choose the right person for you. That stage is the stage you're asking him about his previous relationships, things like what are some of the things he has learned in dating, what does he want to do different, how was his childhood, how was he brought up, are there things he'd want to change, has he gone for therapy, what does he think about communicating in a relationship. Those are things you talk about during those are things you observe. So don't jump to, you're supposed to marry, this guy will marry me, come rain, come shine. Oh, sweetheart, you're jumping a very important stage. So get to see their character, get to see how consistent they are, even in terms of communication, how they're showing up. And then after you get into a relationship, you can be able to tell, is this someone I see myself long-term with? So don't decide during the talking stage. That is number one. Number two, there are things we call deal breakers. Deal breakers are not red flags per se. Deal breakers are like, if you don't want someone who's of a different religion, or if you don't want someone with kids, if you don't want a divorcee, they are deal breakers you can see during the talking stage. So if you don't want someone with a kid, and you realize he's a kid, you drop them there. You don't continue talking to them, because when you continue talking to them, you get more attached. That's why I have ladies who tell me, Muthoni, he's married, but we just started out as friends. Do not start being friends with someone you don't see yourself long term with. Kwanza over 30s, ladies over 30s, where are you? This is for you. When you start dating and he has your deal breakers, when you realize he's of a different religion and you don't want that in marriage, or you realize he was married before and that's not something you want, when you realize he has those, you cut it off. You don't start saying, oh, but you know what, we're just friends for now. You will get attached. You have a heart. You're a human being. Yeah, that is the second thing. Don'ts of the talking stage. Don't continue with this person if he has your deal breakers. The more attached you are, the more you talk to them, the more you get attached, the harder it's for you to leave. That's why I've said, even for married guys, if you realize a guy is married, no matter how good he looks, don't continue talking to him on the phone. Don't continue hanging out with him, because you get attached. The next thing, you're a side chick, you're being hidden like cocaine. He's hiding you like drugs. Yeah, do we want that? No, we do not want that. Another thing of the talking stage. Don't talk about how much you suffered in your other relationship, Oh, he was beating me and putting me on the roof. Oh, he cheated on me with my sister. I caught him in bed with my neighbor. That's not the time to do that. Because the moment you show this person how much you are accustomed to bad treatment, he will give you the bare minimum. He will know, huyu amezoea kuchapwa. This one, even calling her is a privilege. That guy was even staying 2 weeks without calling her. Don't tell them how bad you were treated, right? Don't show them how much you can tolerate bad treatment. Don't show them how much if they give you the bare minimum, that's enough for you because you are not getting that. So what do you say? You tell him, he was actually a good guy. He used to, he bought me flowers. He did this and that, but we had differences, so we parted ways. That during the talking stage is not the time to cry because of how your ex had beaten you or how he had ghosted you for 6 months. Eventually, you will discuss those things, but those are not the things you're bringing during the talking stage. Another thing, that victim thing is not attractive. Oh, he did this for me. So, he did this for me. He was beating me. He was dragging me around the streets. He was calling me every name. So, you sat down like this when someone disrespected you and you took that treatment. Do you know what the new guy will think? This is not for my class. This one is for being treated that way. I want a woman who has self-esteem. I want a woman who cannot take that bad treatment. That's what they will think. That victim mentality thing is not attractive. Yeah? So drop it. If you're a single woman and you're starting to date, these are some of the things we will talk about during our upcoming bootcamp. How to date right. I will talk about those and a lot more things. And my bootcamps are so engaging. They are fire. It's a safe space. And these bootcamps are virtual for a whole 5 days. We are in a forum, an online platform. I put the teachings there. They are there 24/7. I am in those platforms. I am there with you. You can ask me your question there. We have Q&A session. It's just a wonderful time. And you also get to interact with ladies who are also starting to date and who are sharing their stories. So, the talking stage is where most things go wrong. Even where are you finding this man? I'll talk about that. How to become more approachable as a single woman, especially my single, strong, independent women. If you left a marriage, you're trying to date again, this is the boot camp for you. Yeah? So I expect to see you in the boot camp starting on 3rd September, and we have another one on femininity on 9th September. I'll leave sign up details here. Before then, if you're talking to someone, follow the rules I've spoken about. Don't talk about how bad you were treated. You're not trying to set up to show them that umezoea kutreatiwa vibaya, and then they start giving you the bare minimum. Then you walk around saying, "Oh, all the men I've dated." There's something you're doing. There's something you're constantly doing in all those, and maybe that's one of them, showing them you're used to bad treatment. So why would, so they know, this one, even if I don't call her, she's used to someone ghosting her for 5 months. Don't do that too early, right? And then the other thing, don't decide too soon that this is supposed to be your husband. Take your time to get to know them. Yeah, so follow the ones I've spoken about for now before you join the bootcamp. I'll leave sign-in details here. So the bootcamp is ideal for any woman, whether you're living in the North Pole, whether you're living in the US or in the Europe or in Kenya, in Africa, because the teachings are there 24/7. It's a virtual bootcamp. You don't get to miss out on anything. So here are the sign-up details. I'm gonna leave a link here to help you sign up. If you're not able to sign up, I'll be able to reach out with you. So I give you another payment method so you can be able to pay. And see you on that.